I'm going to talk a little bit about prayer. Prayer is very important. A lot of people say, well, I don't know how to pray. I don't know what to say. I feel so artificial. I just can't get it up. Yet these same people can talk a mile a minute for hours, but they don't know how to pray. So I happened to catch this program on television on a religious channel. Evangelist named Lord. I forget his first name, but he's kind of comical, but very straightforward. And this was done 15, 20 years ago. So his suggestions are 30 minutes, preferably in the morning if you're a morning person, 30 minutes if you're a night person. And it's important that you do this for about 6 weeks solid. You got to develop the habit of praying. And you may be a little artificial at first. You may want to use some prayers of other people. In fact, one of my little Bibles has a list of prayers that are in the Bible, and I'm sure they would all suffice for the time being. But I think, and that's my opinion, that God and Jesus would like your own words. It's not how many words you use, it's the intent of the words and the feeling from the heart of the words. So we tend to find time to do the things we love. If we love playing basketball, we're out there playing basketball. If we love playing tennis, we're out there playing tennis. If we love playing the piano, we're playing the piano. So we tend to find time to do the things that we love. Do you have any spiritual exercises? Do you love God? Do you love Jesus? Well, if you're not talking to him, doesn't make much sense to me. So learn to talk to him, but first you got to learn to love him. If you don't love God and Jesus, how do you expect to love some other human being? And I think a lot of people throw this word around, love. Well, love for God is different than the other love. Well, it verges over. You know, I love ice cream and I love grandma, but the God of love, the agape love, permeates everything. Without that, other love is meaningless. So you need spiritual exercise, and we need to have relationship daily. Now you need a plan to pray. What am I going to do when I pray? You can script it out and write it out at first. What he does is he prays to his wife, then to the kids, one family at a time. They'll say, well, I'm praying for my 4 kids. No, you name each one and what your prayer for them is, that they do better in school, that their health improves, anything of that nature. Your mother-in-law, your father-in-law, pray for your best friend. President and his wife, he prays for them. He prays that they'll lead our country properly. He even prays for 2 judges. He prays for Scalia and Thomas. He just picked them out of nowhere, and that's his little list of things. Now we find in the Bible there's no prayer for lost people, but for those doing good. Give that some thought and figure out why not. God has come, or Jesus, back in another body. Deciding is not doing. So you can decide, but until you do, you're not getting it done. You might even want to write out your conversation with God in a journal that you keep with you, or take notes. It will help you focus and write down what God tells you in your meditation. You're told to go into your closet, meaning some room, and where you're not interrupted, and all by yourself. If you don't respond to impressions, you tend to lose them, so it's important to write them down. Do it quickly. Become sensitive. Now, your cell phone is always available to God. Now, God is not a 911 for you. You call 911 every time you're in a crisis, but it does help. He is ready to listen to you. In your quiet time, you praise, you thank God, you intercede for other people, you confess to God how you've done wrong against Him and sinned against Him, and how very sorry you are for doing that. You petition for others, and then you petition for yourself. But God already knows what you want anyway, so there's not much sense in spending too much time on that. But be very sincere, be very adamant in your prayer. Don't be wishy-washy. And God will give you more than you want anyway. You give 30%, you're going to get 100% back and more. Bible is meant to be practiced. It's not how much Bible you read, but how much you practice. Also, John MacArthur, a pretty popular evangelist, although he's Calvinistic and Baptist and Westminster Confession of Faith oriented, but he has two excellent CDs that you can send for that are reasonable, probably $4 or $5. I get a lot of materials from him for free because I purchased some of his material. So that's an excellent source of prayer. But find the various prayers in the Bible and use those as a source. Pray, pray, pray. You're here to pray and worship, and the two go together. When you're praying, you're worshiping. When you're worshiping, you're praying. Thank you for your attention on prayer.